We've talked about how you can find ad inventory on SiteScout. Now let's have a look at how you can run and set up a display advertising campaign through the system. Before we start, it's important to note how brand hierarchies are set up in SiteScout. SiteScout lists brands as the top hierarchy. Before getting into a campaign, you have to set up a brand. Underneath each brand, you'll have to set up at least one grouping. The groupings represent a set of campaigns for that brand. The reason for this is that SiteScout is developed for a lot of advertising agencies that are using the tool to manage multiple display ad campaigns for various clients. And it just makes it easier to organize and keep track of all the campaigns. As an example, your brand might be Doritos. You might have several groups of campaigns for Doritos, maybe fall, winter, spring, summer. And under the groupings, you might have several individual campaigns. Under fall campaigns, you might have Super Bowl offer campaign, buy one, get one free campaign, win a trip to a concert campaign, and then you can have various ads within campaigns. To summarize, you have brands, groups, campaigns, and then ads. It's got to follow that hierarchy. The first step before we can set up and run a campaign is we have to set up a brand. Go under the brand section, find the button that says new brand, click on it, and name your brand. Enter the name of the brand and hit save. Now that we have our brand set up, we need to set up a group underneath that brand. Underneath the brand where you see groups area, click on the button that says new group. Specify the name for the new group, and then under budget type, select daily. This will allow you to select and specify a daily cap for how much of a budget that you want to spend on this campaign. And then hit create group. And this is the groups section, brand section up here, group section down here. Go to my ads, select new, and click on upload image. This is the area where you upload your ads if you have them developed. We don't have ads developed, so I'm going to just ask you to upload any 300 by 250 image. And I've actually got one set up already on our course website that you can download. So it's the image of the koala bear. It's already sized to 300 by 250. You can download that from our course website on FOL. Use that as your sample image, and this will just be a placeholder as if we're using an ad. Create your destination URL. This is the site that will link to your ad. You can put whatever you want there. If we were going to do an ad for Fanshawe, we would put Fanshaw's site if we wanted them to go to that homepage. Click on create ad. Ensure that your URL has the http:// before it. Then click on create ad. You can see that our ad has been included in the group. You can click a preview. Okay, now that we have a brand set up and we have a group set up underneath that brand, now we're ready to start a campaign. In order to do that, go to the group that you just set up, look for the settings wheel, and click View Campaigns. When you get to the Campaigns page, select New Campaign, Desktop Campaign, Website Campaign. And now we're taken to an area in SiteScout where we can set up the parameters for our programmatic display advertising campaign. Let's run through the parameters. You can turn your campaign on or off through the status section here, on or off. Let's give our campaign a name. And we can set frequency caps as well. Frequency caps cap how many times a user sees one of your ads. For instance, if we want a user to only see the ad twice in a 12-hour period, we can set that. The next section relates to the budget parameters. We can specify the default CPM price, cost per 1,000 impressions that we want to pay, the overall budget that we want to spend for the campaign, and we could limit that to a daily budget. Campaign pacing will allow us to specify whether or not we want to spend the budget as fast as possible when it meets our criteria, or if we want to have the spend spread evenly throughout whatever period we're running the campaign, we can do that as well. Flight dates relate to the start and end date for your campaign. And then day parting allows you to specify certain rules, such as having the campaign run on certain hours. If you have a lunchtime campaign, maybe you only want it to run during lunch hours if it's promoting some type of food for lunch. Or you could do something where you exclude Saturdays and Sundays. That's where day parting comes in. There are extremely powerful location targeting tools that we can use to specify the geographic location of where we want the ads to show up. Just to give you an example of what we can do here, I'm going to go through and you can see all the different municipalities in Ontario or anywhere else for that matter. And you can say, I want to include a campaign that's targeted just to Ancaster City, Ontario. And you can see we're targeting all the United States, but if we wanted to, we could specify a code that allows us to either add or exclude a certain area within Canada or the United States. DMA codes refer to designated marketing area codes in the United States. They're used a lot in advertising for radio, television, and other areas. These codes relate to a specific area in the United States. 790 would be Albuquerque, New Mexico. We can exclude Albuquerque from the main campaign. We can exclude however many areas we want. We can do that based on US or Canadian postal codes as well. Here I've added N5V. Our campaign would only be targeted to that postal code. And as you can see here, there's powerful targeting tools by location. Any of DMA codes, zip codes, or chosen areas around the world can be either included or excluded within your campaign based on the geographic area that you're looking to target. Other variables that we can set up relate to conversion tracking, which is useful if you want to track the traffic from an ad coming to a specific location. Setting the conversion on under track conversions, what you can do is set up a conversion pixel. So click on new conversion and let's give it a name. Hit save. And then we look to get the tag or the code for the conversion pixel. So under settings, click get tags. And here's our conversion pixel. Copy and paste this script to whatever web page it is that we are trying to track conversions to. For instance, if we want to track how many orders we get from an ad, we could put this conversion pixel into the script of the page that shows up after somebody orders the product, so a thank you page. The script allows us to track how many people that saw that ad actually went through the order process. And you can do this for any page that you want to be able to track conversions for. Once the script is set up in our page, we just click track and we can set up the conversion to track for this ad campaign. Contextual targeting is helpful because it can allow us to have our ads display in situations where there's content on the web page that relates to what it is that we are wanting to target. And you can see that there's several data sources here. They all segment based on different verticals. And if we're looking to sell a lawn care product, for instance, we can look under different segments, home and garden, lawn and garden specifically, we can add that. This will allow our ad to show up in conditions where there is lawn and garden content on the page that is displaying the ad. We can specify whether we want our ads to appear above or below the fold. Above the fold means you see the ad without scrolling. Below the fold means you have to scroll to see the ad. And brand protection can be a useful feature as well. It allows you to exclude advertising from appearing in certain situations. I want you to think of what type of situations you would want to exclude your ad from appearing. Hit pause, think about it, and then when you're ready, hit play again and we'll review. Okay, let's see some of the criteria that can be set up from some of these different data sources that show you how you can protect your brand. There's filtering based on language, but they can also include things like adult content, firearms, crime, dating sites, anything with death or injury, drugs, hate speech, etc. In order to protect your brand from appearing with ads on some of these sites, you can exclude these categories as part of this filter. Let's click on the next step to proceed with the campaign. In the devices section, we can select specific types of devices that we want to target. If we want our campaign to appear only on phones or tablets or desktops, we can specify that. You can get really granular here. You could have your campaign fixed on specifically just to Apple or even to particular products like the iPhone. When this is set up, your ad would only appear on iPhones. And of course, you can select whatever make or model of device that you want through this list. You can specify operating systems. You can specify web browsers that you want your ad to appear on, and you can specify language. When you're done setting those parameters, click Next. Now we're on the advertising inventory page. This is where we select where we actually want our ads to run based on all the different ad exchanges. I'm just going to select Yahoo for now. You can select however many that you want your ad to run on. And just while you're doing this, make sure that whatever you select has an ad placement of 300 by 250, which means that whatever site that you're choosing to display your ad allows for an ad of 300 pixels by 250 pixels. Remember that you need to be able to make sure that the ads that you have fit with what's available on the publisher's site. Yahoo does have 300 by 250, which is good. I'll select that, and you can select however many you want, and then click Add Selected, and it will add that inventory to your campaign. You scroll down, you can see that we've added yahoo.com. Click Next Step. The next step is where we link our actual display ad to the campaign that we just created. Under Linked Ads, click Link Ads. We should see our ad there. Click Add. Done. And our ad has now been linked to this campaign that we've just created. Click Next. And now we can see a summary page of the campaign that we've just built, which includes the budget that we've set and all the parameters for a programmatic ad campaign, including the location, inventory that we selected, advanced options, including contextual, the platform, page positioning, and all that. Anything can be edited here on this page. And basically, this is the campaign that we have just set up. All the variables are listed here. We can scroll down to see the ad that was set up, then click Save. If there's any errors that show up, there'll be a warning. Fix any indicated errors, click Save. And we've created our campaign successfully. So I'm going to turn this campaign off. And that's it. That's how you run a display advertising campaign. So we've gone through, created a campaign, set it up, selected our inventory, where it's going to run, uploaded our creative, set our programmatic parameters, and that's all there is to it. Now, if we were running campaigns, we could go and see how the ads are performing through different reporting in the system, and we could tinker with the ads to get better performance. That's how you build a campaign in SiteScout. Hope you found this recording helpful. We'll talk soon.